we're going to give you a new one of these. And this project will be, you will get, we're going to replace the 747 that's currently on the market with a new version that will be done to the detail level of the 777. It will be done to the detail level of the NG. And this airplane will have far, far more detail and capability than the 747 that you're currently flying. The one that you have will be 7 years old this summer, which is a long time in software. And I don't know if many of you have gone back to fly it after flying the NG. I tried to, and it's my favorite airplane, but a 7-year-old project, it's showing its age now. So we're going to replace it. We are preparing to do the photo survey of a 747-400 cockpit that will be used. We've gotten an initial promise of cooperation from a partner airline, and I can't tell you who it is because we don't have a signed piece of paper yet, but if this particular airline does sign that piece of paper to help us out, I promise you this is going to be absolutely the nicest 747 you've seen. When the 400 is done, we are then going to go on and give you this airplane, which is the Dash 8i. You'll get both the Dash 8i and the Dash 8F. And unlike this visual model that we gave you a couple years ago, the Dash 8 will have the cockpit differences, performance differences, FMS and synoptic differences, etc. So you'll get a full simulation of this airplane as well. So that is, you guys now know something that the whole rest of the simming world doesn't know. But probably in about 5 minutes, Ryan's going to send off a press release to AvSim. So the rest of the world will find out probably in about an hour or so. We've been at this for 15 years, which is sort of extraordinary because this isn't where we set out to be. When I started PMDG 15 years ago, it was because I needed to pay off some of the debt that I had accrued building all my flight ratings. And along the way, we've had some really good people join the team. We've had some people leave, but the team now is as large as it's ever been. It is as capable as it's ever been. And as we started to put this together, and we've been sort of reflecting on where we've been and where we're going, one of the things that I guess I'd like to leave you with is how much we appreciate the enthusiasm you guys show for our products. This is very hard work, but we obviously enjoy it. It's something that all of us started doing as a hobby, and we are just fortunate enough that most of us now are doing this for a living. And when we raise the bar, when we add more detail, we're doing it because you have told us this is what you want, and you've told us that you enjoy it, and it matters a great deal to us when after a product releases, we see your feedback, both positive and negative, telling us what you like about the project, what you don't like about the project, and telling us about the kinds of things that you'd like to see. Many of you will recognize things in the NG, and you'll be able to, and you think to yourself, oh, hey, I posted in their forum that, I really hoped they would do this, and they did. We do get a lot of feedback through our forum, and we do read just about everything that's there. And unfortunately, there's only a few of us, so we can't answer every single post and every single email. But we do take them to heart, and we very, very much value your feedback, and we very, very much value the fact that you support our products. And so on behalf of the whole team, I'm the guy, I get to stand here and do all the talking and stuff. But there's a lot of folks on this team that work very hard, and so on behalf of all of us, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Now, is Winfred here? I told Winfred to be here. Is William still here? Wow. Okay. We have a little gift for Winfred and William. That's kind of funny. I guess we'll give it to somebody else. Did you all get a raffle ticket when you came in? A little red ticket? Did everybody get one?
No, the way out.
What's that?
They didn't get it yet. They're already here.
Oh, okay. What we're going to do is we have We have 3 of these. I had these made for the development team when we reached the end of the development cycle. It's sort of a tradition at PMDG. I have these made when we conclude a project so that everyone on the team will have one to have in their office or on their desk. And so it's sort of traditional that you'll have one of these on your desk until the end of the next project, and then you get to replace it with the airplane that you're now sick of looking at. So it's a beautiful piece. It's fairly sizable and it's extremely detailed. We had them made by a company in California. I've got 3 of them here with me today, and 3 of you are going to take one home. We decided that we would bring these along, and we've, like I said, we had a couple of extras, so we're going to give each of you a ticket, and each of you will get an opportunity, and so I hope you win. Give me just one moment, please. Than doing a 737, or doing a 777, or doing a 747, because that airplane is so highly automated. It's a very, very advanced turboprop. It's obviously very popular. It's something that we do want to do. But when we actually sat down and started mapping out the development timeline, we realized it was going to take us far longer than we'd initially envisioned. So its priority level got bumped down. It is something we're going to come back to. We do have pieces of it already made. I don't know when that's going to be. That's as honest as I can be. All right, next.
How's your position about 3D cockpit versus 2D?
We are very heavily in favor of 3D, and I've taken some criticism for this. But the reality is, from a developmental standpoint, it's far easier for us to work in a 3D environment than it is in a 2D environment. And the 2D environment consumes far more resources than it really should. So we have been, with subsequent products, we've been sort of dialing down the amount of 2D available. We have a very robust internal debate about when we should remove 2D entirely. If it were up to me, I would take it out right away. Fortunately for you guys, I'm not the sole voice at PMDG. We have, as I mentioned, we have a very robust debate that goes on. And we have some members of our team that are very strongly in favor of 2D. So I think that with the 777, you will see primary panels. So for things like the MCP, for the main displays, you'll still see 2D. I don't believe in the 777 you'll see an entire 2D overhead panel, however. And I think that as we move forward, you'll continue to see those dialed down. One thing I will promise those that use them, however, you will always have the opportunity to undock displays so that you can move them to other windows if you wish. And I think that we've pretty much settled that we'll always give you some of the primary autopilot control mechanisms so you can put those in another place, such as the FMS and the mode control panel. So we'll never go completely 3D where there's nothing that you can bring up, but the amount of real estate that you can bring up in 2D is going to shrink over time. Thank you, I will. And what the gentleman said, he asked me if I would repeat the questions because some of you can't hear them. So yes, I will do that. Thank you.
I question, certainly know the problem with frame rates with MX, especially if you have 3 monitors like me. So I'm really wondering where you really fall in love with X-Plane.
X-Plane. All right, the question was, it was more of a sort of a statement question combined. It was that there's some folks are a bit frame rate challenged in FSX, so will we embrace X-Plane? Is that a fair?
Yes.
Okay. We are in the process right now. We just brought someone onto the team who is leading the development effort to start converting some of our projects to X-Plane. We have selected an airplane that's going to be the first one that gets ported over. I'm not going to say which one it is because there's a chance that if we find that it goes more smoothly than we thought, that we will change and move a different airplane. And if it doesn't go as smoothly, we'll change and use a different one. So we're going to, I don't want to say which one it's going to be because I don't know for sure. But we are going to move an airplane into X-Plane. And we're moving that airplane into X-Plane not to test the market, as some folks have guessed. We're doing it to test our development process to figure out what we need to do to start developing products for X-Plane. Because right now we're very Microsoft-centric. We don't know a whole lot about the X-Plane platform. We've been talking with Laminar Research. They've been very, very helpful to us, and we are going down that road. My hope is that by the time we get to porting something like the 777 into X-Plane, we will have a strong development process in place for X-Plane, and that our partners at Aerosoft will have gotten enough scenery and enough airports into X-Plane that more Microsoft users will be willing to give it a try. As I have talked about this with our team internally, one of the things that I have said is that X-Plane is, it's not better or worse than FSX. It's different. And when those of us that are, have been sort of, born and bred in Microsoft Flight Simulator, when we start to look at X-Plane, it's difficult at times because the things that you sort of naturally go to do, they don't work. You have to learn new ways of thinking and new ways of controlling the simulator. And that's been a challenge for us. But I remain committed to providing you, our customers, with the opportunity to try our products in X-Plane so that you will have an opportunity to see if that's a simulator for you. We're coming up on some pretty big changes in our community, and so the first big change you're going to see us make is, yes, we are going to be moving a product into X-Plane. Next. Go ahead. I'm sorry? We intend to, the question was, will we add an EFB, the electronic flight manuals, to the 777? We intend to. And I'm being very careful in how I say that because I don't know if it's going to make the release of the product yet. It will depend a little bit on how well that development goes. We have the documentation for it. We know how it works. There's some technical challenges to making it work so that it works in a fashion that doesn't compete with the airplane for resources. When we get that to the point where we're comfortable with it, we will include it. One of the nice things in the way we have set up our development process now is that when we get the EFB into the 777, all we have to do is run an update, and you'll have it in the NG as well. And so if the electronic flight bag, if it comes somewhere between the 777 and the 747, when it's done and it's ready, we can roll it into all three airplanes with an update. So we do intend to come out with one. It's just a matter of getting it to where we're happy with it. Oh, back me 1 second.
I've got a box of the NG. I would like to know what the SP1 and the YSPs are included or not in this box.
The question was, the gentleman here has the NG on CD, and he wants to know whether the SPs are included in that version. The answer is yes. And whatever, yeah, and that's the thing, it depends. When Aerosoft runs production, they always get the most current version from us before they run production. So whichever version gets run, that's what you got. The way you can tell is look in the README, and you'll see it'll have a version number in there. There's another fail-safe way to make sure you have the most current version. Go to our website and download the update and run it. If it tells you it's already installed, then you've got the most current version. If it updates, then it means it needed an update. So when we put an update for the NG on our server, it is on our download page. That is always the most recent version, and it is always universal. So no matter what version you have installed, go ahead and pull that and run it. If you need an update, it will update you. If you don't need the update, it won't update you.